up, guys? Welcome back to Elderwood Games. Thomas here, and today I wanted to talk about Plateaus. I'm sure each of us have hit one, are approaching one, or maybe you're finally past one. And if you are, then I'm honestly very happy for you, because I've found myself kind of hitting a plateau with just my hobby right now. Mainly because last weekend was the store anniversary, which is great. It was a fun time. Basically went to the shop and hung out. It was also Armies on Parade, which was a ton of fun. Which, the Armies on Parade, I should have had that ready. Okay, one sec. All right, sorry about that. So, with Armies on Parade this past weekend, as you guys know, I ended up doing my Tyranids. So, this is the board that they were presented on. So, it's XPS foam. I get the green stuff because that's just what I have at my local hardware store. I used to get the pink because that was what my other one had, and I kind of liked the pink a bit more, but it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just a couple sheets of those. I kind of carved it in a way and hot glued it together to give me sort of a tiered kind of landscape. Then I covered it all in spackle. Basically just the drywall fixing stuff. I got a big tub of it from Walmart for like $5. I still have more than 3/4 of it left even after doing this board. Painted it down, just some black, some purples, a little bit of blue, and then a dry brushing with sort of a light blue, just so it sort of matches my Tyranid bases a little bit better. And then I showed the pictures of it last week in last week's video, which kind of showed what I did, adding the terrain and everything and all that jazz. And it was a really big success. We ended up having 3 people. One of the guys is working on 30K, and he brought his Orc Purium. So basically his whole shtick is that he is putting together orcs as Imperium characters. So he has the Prime Orcs, as he calls them. I believe he has almost all of them done. I think he just has like the fringe ones now, like Alfarius and Omegon. I think he has Fulgrim, but it's really cool, and it's a lot of fun because it's like orc kit bashes, but it's like orc heads on Imperium sculpts, but with a little bit of extra kit bashing and that sort of thing. It's a really cool project. I'll have to remember the next time that he's in and see if I can get some photos and maybe some video of his stuff. And then another friend of mine, Crib, he ended up bringing his Thousand Suns Beach Party. The Zangors have really funny banners. So he has one that's Live, Laugh, Languish, I think is what it says. It's pretty funny. And then he has another one that has just the Corona light branding on it. He painted the Corona light on it, and it's just a funny little thing. So we were all together in it. So only 3 people joined this year. It really snuck up on a lot of people. I was talking to some people while it was happening, and they were like, oh wow, it's this weekend, I didn't realize. And I think it's because last year in my area we experienced Hurricane Helene, and it ended up pushing a lot of the celebrations forward in the year. So last year was in like November and that sort of thing, and I think that's why I thought it was also later in the month. But anyway, we got it all set up and that sort of thing, and honestly I am already looking forward to next year. For one, I actually do love the terrain aspect of the hobby. I have a few pieces I've put together for my personal table, and I want to make some more. So let me know if you'd like to see some of that collection, or if you'd like to see maybe a more in-depth video of making something like that. It was just a really cool time. I was able to talk to a lot of people. I feel like I was able to kind of encourage some people as well, because at the start it was really just me, and I was kind of like, well, I don't want to be the only one that does it. Like, you just need to have an army with you. You don't actually have to have a created terrain piece. You can just have a mat, or honestly, one of my friends didn't even have a mat. He just had his stuff kind of laid out in like a 2x2 area, and that was that, and he was still, a participant and that sort of thing. So one cool thing that I didn't know that you got for this is a like die-cast metal little like card. It's a little bit smaller than a playing card. But on one side, you have 40K, so you have some Space Marines marching, and then you have some Stormcasts on the other side. Just kind of a cool little thing. I didn't know that was part of it. It just kind of got placed on my board. I was like, oh, neat. And then there are rewards. I ended up coming second, I know, out of 3 for solo entry. So basically, if you entered anything at all, you were up for solo entry. There's a few categories, but for ours, we really only had armies enter. So yeah, you get this really cool, and it's metal as well, nice and thick. Second place on that. And first place for that one was the Orcperium. And then I did get first in terrain. So silver, gold, bronze is the typical deal. Basically the same material as the other one, just colored a little different. This was for terrain, like I was saying. It's just a really cool kind of deal. I actually didn't know there were like medallion prizes. I'm kind of used to just getting like a paper certificate and that sort of thing for the painting contest and that sort of jazz. So like actually getting, you know, a medal basically was really cool with the Armies on Parade. So yeah, I think obviously it'll be another year before it happens again, but if you ever thought of displaying your army in an interesting kind of way, maybe consider joining the Armies on Parade next year. If you have a local Warhammer store, or I think they also do an online reward system and competition as well, if that's something that's more appealing to you. Armies on Parade is so much fun. I'm excited for next year. I think I'm going to do my Tau. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I have some stuff coming that it will help with that, and I think that'll be a lot of interesting ideas to come from, because I want to have them kind of in a woodland environment. So making basically a 2x2 jungle, which will take a lot more time than the board I made this time. So I think it'll be really cool, and maybe that'll be sort of a slow project I can have in the background over the course of next year. The topic of today is going to be mainly the plateau. You get to a point where you don't feel super motivated for something, and it could be for multiple reasons. So right now for me, I'm at a bit of plateau with my Tyranids, ironically. We just had Armies on Parade, and one of my goals for this month is to finish my Tyranids. And I do want to do that, and I do still plan on finishing my Tyranids by the end of October. They are coming along. I'm really only a couple steps away. Basically, I just need to do a little bit. I just have to do the next layer of pink on their main carapace. There we go. Do the edge highlighting in green, and then there's a few details that I have to go in with the darker green just to finish that part up. And then I have to do the iridescent coat and the satin finish, the bases, and they're done. It sounds like a lot, and it is kind of a lot, but it's also not really that much. It's like one kind of messy thing, a few really precise things, and then the bases, which I enjoy doing. That's the plateau I'm at. When you're painting so many of them, the steps become so much more exaggerated and so much longer. I hate to say it, but it does kind of take the fun out of my Tyranids. I love the pink, the bright colors, and that sort of thing. And when I'm doing just a single monster, it's actually a ton of fun. I feel like it comes together super quick. With the swarms, which I do love, when they're on the table, nothing beats them. But painting them is about as bad as a Tyranid invasion, in my opinion. Badge painting is not my favorite thing. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of in a lull right now. And on top of that, during the store anniversary and that sort of thing, there was some cool, buy a certain amount, you get cool stuff kind of deal. So I did end up picking up some stuff that I wasn't expecting to pick up. My shop is starting to get into 30K. Quite a few people actually. And I was like, you know, I don't necessarily want to... A part of me was like, I don't necessarily want to learn a new game. But another part of me was like, I do kind of want some new models to paint. Because, I mean, I have my towel, so I have my like nice and clean, you know, pseudo cell shading, edge highlighting, those guys. Like, and I love my Tau. I love the way I paint them. Don't want to change a thing on them. I have my Tyranids, which are a little bit messier, but there's a few more steps in the process. They come out, in my opinion, looking great, but it can take some time and can be kind of taxing. And then I have my Orcs, which I just haven't really felt motivated to do recently, which would probably have been adequate to do them this month for Orktober, but that's just not what I was feeling motivated to do. But I don't know. I kind of got bought in to the whole thing because of Mechanicum. Mechanicum models are so freaking cool, and I just could not help myself, honestly. So I bought the Battle Force box and a unit of the flying guys with the claws. I was like, I have some plans for kind of posing them in very specific ways, and I think that Mechanicum will be my like modeling army. And what I mean by that is like they will be ones that I am a little bit more particular about putting together in specific ways to make more interesting looking sculpts out of the kits, which is great, but also unfortunate because there are tons and tons and tons of pieces for them. Like each leg of the little guys is like 8 or 9 pieces. And to like pose them specifically, I feel like it's easier with so many pieces and you can make it look so much more granular and unique. But it's going to be a testing time of my patience. But I think the outcome is going to be so sweet. I'm so excited. But I want to get my Tyranids done first. And I think that's why I have a plateau with my Tyranids, is because I'm really excited for Mechanicum. That it's like, this is the only thing in my way. I do not want to finish this. I want to do the other thing. But I know if I do the other thing, I'm not finishing Tyranids this month because I will just get lost in the sauce of Mechanicum. So I have to finish my Tyranids first. And I only have a few more steps to go, but the plateau is real, guys. And if you've ever experienced a plateau, what I would recommend is just do a little thing at the start of your hobby time that maybe you like to do or maybe you don't like to do. But for me, I think after this, I'm just going to do, after I cook dinner, I think I'm going to try to just do the pink sponging next. Because the pink sponging, honestly, is like a pretty big step for my Tyranids. After I do the initial pass of it and the blue wash, which is what the stage they're in right now, I just do a little bit more pink on top for highlighting. Do that today, and then tomorrow when I go to the shop, or if I have some time in the morning, I might try and do another little piece and that sort of thing. And I think when I have the boxes of the Mechanicum, it's waiting at the shop for me now, but when I have the boxes, I think it's going to be like, okay, they are here. These guys got to be done. I'm going to go full Hauser and get these guys done, hopefully this weekend. And then next week, I can just focus on building the Claw Boys, because I think those are the ones I'm going to start with to make sure I like building them. And if I don't, then it might be an army that gets let go. Plateaus, not fun. But yeah, let me know what you guys do when you hit a plateau. Do you guys either like hop to a different project, kind of do little things over the day just to get through it? Or do you just jump, feet first into a new army? I don't think any of those are necessarily wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.